Hey guys, it's Annie, and I have the amazing Carissa Johnson.
I am back again.
If you didn't watch the video where she shared her entire pretty much life story.
My life, I put it all on the table.
Yes, you know all about her, but if you didn't watch that, you definitely should. But from that, you should know she is a manifestation pro. Not even joking. You decide you want something and it happens.
Yeah.
Like quicker than I've seen it happen for anyone.
Oh wow.
Honestly.
Yes. Okay, wow.
So you can tell by the title, Carissa manifested $100,000 within 60 days.
Yeah, 100K in 60 days.
That is mind-blowing.
Mind-blowing.
How?
You know, we have a similar mentor, we have the same mentor, and she talks a lot about this, and she said something that really resonated with me when I was thinking about this video. It's like, this feels important. We wonder like how we're gonna do it until then we wonder how we did it. You know, like I didn't really ever wonder how it was gonna happen, especially with this. I'll tell you the story in a minute, but I like forgot about it. And I think that we talked about this even in the last video, the quality of the questions that you ask is really powerful in your ability to manifest. I didn't ever wonder, and with my manifestation skills, I don't ever wonder how it's gonna happen. I just really have a lot of conviction with it's going to, and that's it. It's as good as done. I'm like, done, I'm getting it. And I just hold the belief that I always get what I want or something better. I really have that belief. Like I'll be around people and like, you just, whatever you want, you just ask for it and you get it. But it's been something that I've worked on over time. So with this thing, so different. It was in November of 2020.
During the pandemic.
When everyone, you know, was like, the economy's crashing, all this. I was in a pretty good state of my business. Things were flowing and coming in. And I remember I was on a free masterclass video. And I was talking about manifestation. I was talking about things like dreaming big and creating and doing all this. And I remember I was like, yeah, like I want to manifest 100K in 60 days. And then I stopped for a moment and I was like, holy shit, I actually said that live. I said it publicly.
Said it out loud. Why did I say that?
Yeah, I'm like, why did I say that? But I think that was such a key moment in why I was able to manifest it, because I spoke it into existence. I said it, and with my confidently with my conviction, other people probably were like, she's so confident, that and their energy kind of infused into that as well, which I think was such a key factor, was that I spoke it out loud and into existence, and it really like fell out of my mouth. Like if I could have caught it before it came out, I would have been like, I would have not said it publicly. But now I realize that that's actually a really key tip in how I manifest so quickly, is I speak about things before they're happening. And when I'm scared, like, yeah, I'm gonna manifest this apartment with 25-foot windows, I'm like, it's just gonna happen. And I just tell people about it before it's happened or I have any idea, and I'm scared. So 2020, November, on the masterclass, said it, and then I forgot about it. I honestly forgot I even said it. And then I was doing my numbers for the end of the year, and I heard my intuition, my voice come through, and it's like, did you look at your numbers for the year? And I was like, oh my God, I didn't look at the last 60 days. I was just looking at what was cash. And so just mind you, I wanna be in integrity here. This was generated. So over 2 months, I generated $100,000 that would be paid out in the next few months. But either way, I mean, like that was still huge, because I totally forgot about it, and it had been contracts that were coming in, and a lot of it was cash. So I looked at the numbers and I was like, oh my God, I actually did it. And the number was like 107 something.
So it was even more.
It was more than I wanted and that I asked for. I've had many moments in my life, especially with my car, with my Range Rover, like to a T what I imagined. I've had moments where I was like, this is exact. I really have struggled sometimes with like in the moment having that level of excitement, because I live in that level of excitement before I manifest the thing, that when I actually have it, it doesn't feel different.
Yeah, which is the key.
Which is such a key. So people are like, aren't you excited? I'm like, yeah, but I've been living in this excitement.
I was already feeling this.
I was already feeling this excitement the whole time. And that's kind of how I felt with this money, is I had already been feeling so good about life that it wasn't gonna add or take away anything from my life. And so I think there's some key tips here of like, there was a piece of letting it go, There was a piece of speaking it into existence. Confidently. And then there was another piece of like, I wasn't making it mean or not mean anything about me, because I was already feeling so good in my life that it wasn't gonna change anything. I was already living into the energy so much that by the time it happened, I could access more excitement, but people were like, well, aren't you more excited? I'm like, I am, but I was already living in this type of energy that it doesn't feel different. Even when I first became a life coach and I first became a speaker, I remember putting on my business card that I was a life coach and I was a speaker before I had any clients or before I was a speaker. And I would like hand my business card and be like, are they gonna know that I'm not actually this? But I was really becoming the woman I wanted to be, that I was handing out my business card as if I was her. I was going to the networking events as I was her. And then I became her.
Yeah.
And that's the stretching that I constantly live in, is just always acting as the woman that I truly want to be and embody.
Yeah. And it works, apparently.
Apparently it works.
It apparently works.
You know, I will be honest, sometimes I don't know. We were having this conversation before and I was like, I have to really sit down and think about how these things have happened, because I don't ever sit down and think about the how.
It's not a structured method.
It is not a structured method.
It's not A, B, C, follow these rules and then you have everything. It's just, It's a very individual, energetic thing, I believe, at least.
It is, and I will say there is one acronym, the ABC, that I think that does help me, which is the always be celebrating.
Yes. Always be
ABC, always be celebrating. I live life like a celebration. I'm constantly buying myself flowers. I'm making everything an experience. So when I take a bath, I put rose petals in it. I put holy water in it. I put lavender oils in it. When I do coaching calls, I'm lighting incense. I'm drinking like the best tonic water with a perfect little wedge of lemon on it. I'm making everything an experience and I'm creating these emotions and these memories. And like the emotional piece for me has been such a key part of the manifestation. It's not just the thoughts, and I'm not the greatest at visualization, it's the emotion.
Yes, I always say that, so I love you coming on here and saying that. It's all about the way you feel in your body, your emotions.
Yeah, and I think that that's another key thing that I want to point out is, even if you don't know exactly what you want, if you can tune into the feelings of what it would just be like to have everything that you want.
Yeah.
What if I could have everything? What if I could live anywhere? What does freedom feel like to you? What does, love feel like to you? What does joy feel like to you? So if you don't know, because that's a question I get a lot, is if I don't know what it is that I actually want, I think that you can just tune into the feelings of love, of joy, of gratitude, and you'll start to attract experiences that will help you create those preferences.
Mm-hmm. And it's more than just like, I know how I want to feel. I know that I want to feel free. I know that I want to feel happy. I know what I want to feel, that I want to feel joy, but like, can you bring that up in your body? Like, can you feel it, not just know that you want those feelings?
Exactly. You have, and that's the practice. My dad says this all the time. He's like, I know I want,
I know I want that.
I know I want, I'm doing the things. I'm like, it's not, and he's talked like that. He's like, doing the things. I'm like, it's not about doing the things. It's not about thinking the thoughts. It's about really generating the emotions, generating the feelings. And for me, the one that feels the easiest is gratitude. Mm-hmm. So I live in a state of gratitude. I am not unappreciative of anything that I have, even like down to the cutest little teas that I buy at like Trader Joe's. I get so excited about the littlest things that brings so much energy to just this life experience. And I'm just so grateful for all of it. And I think that is what helps me really tap in that quickly, is I can access a state of gratitude from practice. Mm-hmm. And so if you're having a hard time like even accessing emotions, you'll get better at it if you just do it over time.
Yeah. And if you're in one of those spaces where like everything feels chaotic in the moment, one thing that you shared with me that helps me more than just the thought of get present in the moment, but you shared like, if you're feeling like everything's chaotic, like sit there in the moment and you're like, I'm sitting here on a couch. I have a couch. Like,
yes,
I'm in an apartment. Like I did this the other day when I was stressed out in the bathtub and I was like, everything feels hectic. What's going on? I'm confused. And I'm like, I'm in a bath right now.
Yeah.
Like, this is nice. I live in a luxury apartment.
Yeah.
I have my cat. Like I have a Lexus. Like all these things where I'm like, wait, my life's really good. Why am I freaking out right now?
Yeah, well
but I can build up to the gratitude.
Right.
Starting with like, I'm in.
What's actually here.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like a really great mindfulness exercise, is just to really speak out loud what's your current experience. So like, okay, I'm sitting on a couch. I'm smelling fresh air. Okay, I am seeing this. I'm tasting this. And just go over the things that you currently have and you'll start to build up. But we try to jump from like, my life is miserable, everything's falling apart, to like, oh my God, I'm a millionaire. And that jump is not, there's a lag there. Like, you know, that's not an easy jump. You can totally do it, which is what quantum leaping is kind of about. You know, you can definitely do it, but I have found incremental shifting to be the most profound. So I start with like, what's one better feeling, or what's just one thing that I can bring awareness to? That's the key. Is manifestation is about like awareness of your body, awareness of your thoughts, awareness of your environment, and just tuning into that, and then you can really build upon that.
And then what you were saying before about every experience you create in your life, you live a very intentional moment to moment life, which I feel is what like makes such a big difference in your energy. Like you walk into her place and you're like, I feel like I'm floating on a cloud. The energy in here, like, what are you pumping into the air? It's like, wow, it feels good in here.
I do. You know that. Thank you. That is so good. That's why I was so intentional about who comes here, because I do spend a lot of time cultivating really beautiful, smooth, light energy. When I walk intentionally. I'm like really thinking powerful thoughts. When I wake up in the morning, I'm like really intentional with how I'm even getting out of bed. I create experiences. So even when we go to restaurants, I'm like, I want to sit here. I really am unapologetic about that. And I think that the more intention I've given everything, even like down to like Palo Santoing or saging your apartment, you can check all the boxes. Like I saged, I pull a card, I meditated, but it's one thing to do it, and it's another thing to be immersed in the experience. Like even when I'm dancing and flowing with the energy, which if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see I do a lot of dancing on there. I'm so immersed in my body and the experience that I'm like blissed out. And I think that that's been a huge difference. The bliss. When you're cooking, when you're talking, being in the present, just being so intentional with where your energy is, because that's gonna help expand it. But if it's everywhere, if you're thinking a different thing, if you're having a different conversation, if you're spread all over the place.
You're running into everything when you're walking. I do that sometimes.
Well, sometimes that's spirit just trying to be like, hey, wake up. Intentionality has been a huge thing that I teach my clients. I say that intentionality is the new strategy. I think just really being intentional with every conversation that you're having, the way that you're giving eye contact, right? It feels really intimate. So there's just intentionality with everything that you're doing brings so much more power, awareness, and presence to it. And I think that makes a huge difference. So we're talking about money and talking about $100,000. And I did not grow up with money. And if you didn't watch the other YouTube video of ours that we did together, I was on our channel, you'll see that I grew up with a single mom. You know, my mom was constantly paycheck to paycheck, working multiple jobs. $100,000 is a lot of money.
I mean, for me, making that in a year has been like, wow, I made 6 figures this year. You made that in 2 months.
Yeah, so for that, I really want us all to remember that everything is neutral and that money does just make you more of who you already are. And I would love to invite you to really see where your programming is around money. Do you believe that people who are rich are mean, or that they did something shady in order to get money, or that they're not good-hearted people, or that they worked really hard? Really sit down and journal on, what do I believe about money? What do I believe about people with money? And really start to really deprogram yourself around what money is and what money means to you. And I think the world would really change if we had more money and the power of people who really wanted to do good with it, or who really like had a good relationship with it. And I think a lot of what we're experiencing in the world right now is power and money being in kind of like the wrong hands. And I know that if you're on this channel, you're a good-hearted person. I know you're gonna do great things with money, and even if those great things include buying yourself a Gucci bag, that's still a great thing. I just want us all to really recognize and realize that money is not anything other than just a piece of paper. The only reason it has value is because we all believe it has value.
And then we feel guilty for wanting more of it.
Right. But we don't feel guilty for wanting more air. But air is just a resource, just like money is just a piece of paper. But we have so much shame and guilt and all, like, just so many emotions, charged emotions around it. And so for me, I've been working on money for a very long time because I didn't have it growing up. So that was a really big, important part of becoming the woman I wanted to be. I wanted to be the fullest expression of who I am, and that meant being unapologetic about having money and wanting to empower people with money, because of money, we can have conversations like this. Because of the camera that you have, the places that we're at, we can really do beautiful, empowering things with money. And I really want to help women change their relationship with it. And just think about the legacy that you're going to leave in the children's lives. Like if we all just viewed our relationship with money differently, we would live in a totally different place. And I just didn't make it mean anything about me because I haven't had it and I've also had it and I haven't changed.
Although I would say you have changed, but you've only gotten better.
Well, okay. I believe that I've changed, but like I was actually afraid of making more money because I thought it would make me greedy, or I thought that it would make me more pretentious.
I always thought that people won't like me as much because they'll think they'll think that I think I'm better than them, and they'll reject me because of that.
It's really unusual, some of the things that, the stories that we create around having money. I had a fear around money because I believed that I wouldn't be able to handle it or manage it. So I have changed, but I think fundamentally, like the level of humility that I have and the personality, that hasn't changed. I think I've become a more empowered, confident, skilled, embodied woman because of my relationship that I've changed around money, around power, around intimacy, around a lot of these things that are normally really charged. But I'm better because of it, you know? So I've taken a lot of really difficult, challenging things that have happened in my life when I didn't have money, and I've made that my motivation. So take a moment that you've had in your life where you were the brokest or you were the saddest. I used to be the friend who used to take a train 3 hours to downtown Chicago in thrift store closing with a hand-me-down purse and have to pay on my mom's credit card in my 20s when I had just gotten out of grad school with my friends who I could barely afford to eat dinner with. I was that person, and all my friends had designer bags, had these corporate jobs. I was always the broke friend.
Oh yeah, I was like, what is the cheapest thing on the menu to get?
That's exactly how I made decisions.
Time, yeah.
And I did that for so long. I used to go to the grocery store and I would calculate everything down to the cent of, you know, and
literally this is 50 cents less. I'm gonna get this dish because this is 50 cents less than, yeah.
And you know, that's actually a big part of how I shifted, was that I started at the grocery store. I was like, instead of the cheap toilet paper, what's the one I actually want? Because the 50 cents is not gonna break you. It's really not. And the magazine that you want. So start with maybe one thing at the grocery store and get the thing that you want, and you'll start to notice like, oh, that didn't break me. Okay, maybe I can get another thing that I want. And it just became, I upgraded the things I was currently getting by like a couple cents, and it made such a big difference because I started seeing I can have the things that I want, and it's not making me broke. And then I started to, with that energy, create more abundance in my life, because that's ultimately what money is. It's just an energy of abundance. And abundance never runs out. So it's not just money, it's the living in the prosperity. And I started at the grocery store with just buying the toilet paper that I wanted to wipe my butt with. That was like 25 cents more.
And I don't know if we said this in this video, but the other one, I believe you mentioned that every single thing that you've decided to manifest has come to you, if not something better.
Yeah, everything.
Everything.
Everything. I said I was gonna live in San Diego, penthouse apartment, Range Rover, the cutest, smallest dog in the world. And I named him before I even got him, and he's such a charmer. I mean, he's such a Romeo. But that, out of all the things that I manifested, Romeo is my favorite.
A year before I had Louise, I made her an Instagram, OMG's Louise, and put a white cat with blue eyes as the picture.
Yes! you like started to do the things as if it was already happening.
So manifest your animals, that's the best one. Those are the most fulfilling.
That he has brought so much love to my life. He has made me believe in so many things are possible.
Speaking of Romeo,
come here, Romeo. Come here. He walks so slow.
Come do an outro with us so they can see your cute face. Here's your most precious manifestation.
Ro. Give this video a thumbs up if you think Romeo's adorable, and also if you're just like blown away by Carissa and her story and her magic and her manifestation abilities. And where can they find you?
You can find me everywhere, and also right here. You can find me on Instagram. I almost said YouTube. I'm like, oh, I'm manifesting.
Maybe.
Carissa Johnson on Instagram, on Facebook, on all the things. I have a podcast called Freedom Designers. I also have a free Facebook community called Freedom Designers. And that's the places. You can find me there.
And she is a business coach. She does intuitive work and readings and all of that. So you have openings, right, for your readings?
Yeah. I would love to give your audience an energy session, is what I call them. So whether that be about your life path, your relationships, or your business, those are like some of my favorites as well. Or if you want to start a business and don't have one. And I'd be happy to give you 20% off. So if you use Annie20, you'll get a 20% off your first reading with me.
And little quick testimonial, I've booked sessions with Carissa. Carissa is who helped me come up with my membership. So she is really good at what she does, and I've gotten so much from working with you. So I highly recommend her. Check out all the links down below. Don't miss out on that opportunity. And thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Romeo.
Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Leave us a comment down below letting us know your biggest takeaway. And I will see you soon with a new video.